We'd go quite mad out here otherwise. Quite mad. To sea once more. What have we got here? Another ship? Are you a friendly ship? It's a crack pirate steam pinnace. Well, we have just visited your home port. Does that mean we're friends now? Are we allies? I better just... Ah, they fired on us! Open fire, Mr. Derek! Return fire! Fire again! Oh, he's missed again! You fool! You cannot take on the mighty Chipping Norton! This ship is too great for you! Oh, we just took a massive hit! Mr. Derek, Mr. Boris, are you okay? There was a huge gout of flame from the ship, but I think we have this. One last shot on target! Nice work, Mr. Derek. You thought you could take on the Chipping Norton, but you were mistaken. You've destroyed a crack pirate steam pinnace. The ship is yours. What will you do with her? Loot and scuttle her. She's a vile old vessel, and these Z's aren't safe. Take what you can, and move on. Lean pickings. These pinnaces don't sail far from their hidden harbours. But here's something at the back of the hold. We now have a cache of curiosities. Some sort of barrel. Tap the bung carefully. A firkin of honey. This is what they call prisoner's honey, wrung by the lamplighter bee from the exile's rose. I wonder who made up all these names, remarks able seaman Carget. Someone who has read slight too many books, I'm thinking. We have gained a firkin of prisoner's honey. We've got 2 of these, look. 100 dreams in every barrel. This would fetch 40 echoes in fallen London. Let's return to this port, because they said they bought honey. So we might be able to get even more than 40 echoes for each one, and maybe stock up on some fuel, because it's already down to 6. And dock. Corsair's Forest. West. Without going up in the lift, we're simply going to visit the friendly face? Or the arrant limpet? A firkin of prisoner's honey. We can sell for 26. We can sell it for way more than that. At London. In fallen London. Alright, well, we're not going to in that case. We'll just leave it. I'm going to buy 2 more fuel whilst I have the opportunity. Well, that was more or less a waste of time. Although the extra fuel, I'm sure, will come in handy. Speaking of fuel, let's turn off the lamp to save a little bit. Because, look, there's a buoy up ahead that's giving off a little bit of light. The crew might be uneasy as a result. After all, they are sailors, and sailors can be quite the nervous bunch, despite the fact that they're supposed to be salty old Z-dogs. We'll put the light back on. We'll keep them at their ease, I think. After all, we are as well travelling into darker waters. On our way to Bonny Reefs, I think. Uh-oh, look! The call has gone out up ahead, another pirate ship. I think we will simply try to avoid this one. Mr. Derek, prepare for full power. Actually, I think, look, we can lose them in these rocks up ahead. These perfectly normal and natural-looking rocks. Right here. December 30th. Discovered the Phosphagen Bleaks. Strange, eerie green blooms. December 30th. Discovered Iron and Misery Cove. Funging Station. A welcome port, perhaps. December 31st. Distant bells. Let us dock at Demo Island. A fervent forest of fungus. L&M has a funga operations here, felling giant bolagas shrooms from the building materials, harvesting kirili for the medicinal properties. It's a desperate little outpost of something like civilization. Up puffs the affable Factor. Oh, hello, Captain. Thank God for visitors. We'd go quite mad out here otherwise. Quite mad. Can we be of assistance? Tea with the Factor. The poor fellow needs the company, and he can spare an hour away from his schedule. Unlocked when something awaits you. Let's have tea with him. He seems like an affable fellow, after all. An interlude. You sit on the veranda of the Factor's house, looking out over the fungal jungle. an expanse of green and sour gold. The air is thick with hovering spores. The scones are stale. Even the tea has a hint of mildew. But the factor is good company. He shares odd stories about the ice and roses of Irem, the monstrosities of the Sea of Lilies, and a little restaurant in Venderbite, where he enjoyed the most extraordinary seafood. Venderbite, right-o! I've never met a tomb colonist who could cook, but you must visit the place. Do you know it? He also has a load of Belogus frond carted aboard your ship. He waves away your thanks. I've eaten so much of the stuff, I fear that I might be transformed entirely into fungus. He leans confidently towards you. It happens, you know, but one does have to eat rather a lot of it first. We have gained one supply, although we may want to be cautious about how much of it we eat. You have been told an exceptionally fine restaurant in Venderbite. We have 2 fragments, and we've lost 2 terror. That's all. Let us compile a port report for the Admiralty. The Admiralty likes to keep an eye on the Iron and Misery's activities. The business of spores. Of course, I&M's activities here don't seem that interesting. Nevertheless, record what you can. Gather supplies. Some of the island's fungus is good to eat. Some is poisonous, hallucinogenic, or mischievous. Good luck. A matter of luck. It could go either way, but a 60% chance of success. We've got 12 supplies. It's probably more than we need, but let's try anyway. A fog of dread. The spores lie thick on your face. They coat your tongues. One crewman begins to whimper. Oh, Christ, he says. They've reached my heart. I think I'll be the harvest jet. Harvest jet. You have to drag him back to the ship before he's calm again. We've gained 5 terror. We're now wary. We were unlucky. Better luck next time. Do we want to try that again? We might gain more terror, or we might gain more supplies. I think we're fine. 12 supplies should be more than enough. Let's leave the... Actually, we're going to do it again. We've done it again! Gather supplies. Some of the island's fungus is good to eat. Some is poisonous, hallucinogenic, or mischievous. Good luck. We have succeeded. We have managed to gain some supplies from the island. More fungus for our crew to devour. 179 echoes in the bank. We have seen everything that we can at the Iron and Misery Company funging station. Let us depart. Launch! We're going to continue on into the east. I want to get rid of this crate of unstamped human souls, which is dubiously aboard. December 31st. Fed the crew. Possibly on leftover fungus from the Iron and Misery, or should that be Misery? I guess we should ask the proprietor there if he is indeed as happy as he seems, or unhappy. We're going to head south, I think. Due south, Mr. Derek, through Bonny Reefs. Use all of your expert helmsman skills to keep us off of these strange, iridescent shores that we find ourselves in. Lands are strange in the east, though at least they're not chilly like they were when we ventured into the far north. We much prefer this. It is eerie and unusual. There are fungal growths, but overall I have to say I'm rather enjoying this journey so far, a few pirates notwithstanding. December 31st. Creeping tendrils of fungus, seaweed, unnameable flora. We enter the stairs. The glassy chop of dark water, the iron clatter of feet at the hatchway. Is there someone there? Is there someone outside my hatch? Are you perhaps here to suggest that we have some kind of New Year's Eve party? Because of course it is New Year's Eve. The Chatteronic Lobe. January 1st, 1887, 1888, discovered Chatteronic Lobe and Errants Gearus. And a new year is dawned aboard the Chipping Norton. Discovered the Regal Complexus. The principles of coral, the corpse rainbow glows from beneath the waves, echoes the false stars above. We have fed the crew. Oh, what's that? We want to stay away from that. That looks like a shark or something. Port Cecil. Can we make dock a Port Cecil and perhaps purchase some fuel? The air trembles. A breath of change passes. Discovered! Scott's Reef. Come, we can dock at Port Cecil. What's happened to that ship? Look, that ship's been absorbed. Oops! Port Cecil. A sourceless silver glow. A haven for players of games. Rumpled convolutions of coral fill the water, glimmering with silvery light. The harder you look, the more you see shapes amid the chaos, almost as if they were sculpted. This one could be a crenellated castle, that one a horse's head. A neat little port huddles into the side of a coral island. Prosaic imperial docks and houses tucked away in a baroque organic chaos. In that curious silvery light, among the frozen chaos of coral, the scene has the unreal air of a pencil sketch. Crumpled and discarded. Chess. Chess is popular in the Principles. The port is full of exiles, drunks, and washed-up Z traders. They all play often, obsessively. Be careful. The chess pieces are carved from Sinterlac. Here, in the Principles, that can be very dangerous. A straightforward challenge. We have 100% chance of success. Sure, I'm going to play. Wilberforce Weird was a chess champion in the overworld before I came down to the Sunless Sea, and I'm pretty sure I can take on anything and anyone that Port Cecil has available to challenge me. Be careful. The chess pieces are carved from Sinterlac here in the Principles. That can be very dangerous. One more game. You don't know how long you've been playing. You want a match? Another? The rough coral tips of the chess pieces are smeared with blood. Yours? Your opponent's? But you have begun to realize that your moves recapitulate the movement of the powers of the Neath, the flukes and their shapelings, the bazaar that lurks in London, Mount Nomad that prowls the sea, salt, stone, storm. With every move you take, the shape of it becomes clearer in your mind, sharper. Checkmate, you say. One more game? Your first officer is tugging at your arm. Ignore them. You have chess to play. Win enough games, and something else will occur. Opening moves. We have gained a secret. We now have a total of 9. We've gained 1 pages. Our pages is now 29. We have learned something. Another game. A low-risk challenge. 87% chance of success. We must play again. We must play again. I'm on the edge of discovering something essential, something fundamental to the nature of reality in this place. A distraction. You don't often look at chess pieces. Not really look. The bishops with their hooks. The knight with its mane and teeth. The kin and the cream. White mingled with red. The roots that pin the corner of the board down. To keep you safe from your opponent, you lift a paw to toy with it, touch its velvety pads. Checkmate, your opponent says. She grins. Look too closely, did we? You need to be careful with the Sinterlac chess sets. Her face is blank and white as the dome of a chess pawn. Get out. Get back to the ship until the waking dream of the coral clears. You've gained 5 terror. We're now wary. We have 20 fragments. We have failed our pages challenge. We fluffed that badly. I think we can try again though. Look, an 87% chance of success. We really should succeed at this. Shouldn't we? Can we really risk gaining more terror on the way out? Perhaps we should return here in the future once we have cleared our terror down. Or perhaps on the way back. We can stop in for a few more games. For now, let's just explore the coral knoll around Port Cecil. The sea laps dark around silvery coral. Humps and columns rise from the coral. A bewildering maze. Go carefully. My lord, I'm a good seaman. I'm yours, if you'll have me. Will you have me? I'm hungry. I'll work hard. He seems likely enough, if a little ragged and sorrowful. Unfortunately, we don't have any room for fresh crew. You have a full complement. No space. A shrug. I knowed afore I asked, but I hoped yet. Well then, Captain, take my blessings. You'll remember me another time, when you have a berth spare for a good sailor what knows his way. He's laying it on a bit thick with all the Z's, but perhaps next time you assure him. Perhaps. But we've lost a terror. That's all for now. Let's gather some intelligence. The Admiralty will no doubt want to know what happens here at Port Cecil. Chess, dreams, silver light. The older inhabitants of Port Cecil carry coral encrustations like a disease, splotched with silvery light. They like to go up to the limestone heights behind the harbour, to lay their heads against the pillars and towers, stare at the roof of the Neath, dream open-eyed. Sometimes they speak of things far away, the Carnate work, the smuggler wars, the Fathom King's secrets. Perhaps it's not all invented. We have a port report for Port Cecil. I think that's all that we can see here. For now, let's see if they have any shops. The harbour provisioners. A sluggish and hostile merchant squints warily. A few goods of indifferent quality are available. But more importantly, fuel for a mere 20 echoes. Let's buy that many. We're up to 8 fuel again, which I think is more or less what we had when we left. So that's good. Hopefully it'll be enough. We've got 11 supplies as well, which I'm sure will be more than enough to see us through to the end of our journey. Come then, crew! The Chipping Norton departs Port Cecil. And so Wilson rowed across the seas, rambling quietly to himself, until... Land ho! At last, after an epic journey across the seas. Well, I mean, actually, it wasn't that epic. But I have travelled, nonetheless, a fair distance on my little raft, and it's nice to arrive once again on dry land. In fact, look at this. This looks like, to me, to my scientist's eye, to be something of a lava plain. Oh, look at that. A spider den. I have encountered these creatures before. They are most fearsome if you get too close. But if left at a distance, then